Hello friends, today we are going to do with our another chapter number 2 in supplementary reading, that is The Tiger King, written by Kalki. The author Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurti or Kalki, he was born in 9th September 1899 to 5th December 1954. Now this is a timeline which you have to remember very thoroughly. Better known as by his pen name Kalki, was an Indian writer, journalist, poet, critic, and Indian independent activist. He was named after Kalki, the 10th and the last avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. His writings include over 120 short stories, 10 novels, 5 novels, 3 historical romances, editorial and political writings, and hundreds of film and music reviews. Krishnamurti's father was Ramaswamy Iyer. He was an accountant in Puttamangalam village in the old Tanjore district of Madras Presidency. He began his primary education in his village school and later attended municipal high school in Mayavaram. But he quit in 1921, just short after completion of his senior school living certificate, in response to Mahatma Gandhi, who has called in 1921 to join the Indian National Congress. Here we are talking about the king in The Tiger King, wherein the story is based upon the satire on the pride and the stubbornness of those in power. That means in a kingdom wherein all the people who are authoritative, including the Maharaja, they were all having their own powers and they were very stubborn. Even they did not even bother about the fortune which was written in their life. In the story, the Tiger King, who is the main hero of the story, the Maharaja of the Pratibandhapuram, also known as His Highness Jamedar or General Kiledar. He was also known as Sir Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur, a crown prince, a 10-day-old baby who later became the Maharaja of the Pratibandhapuram according to the skit. There is a chief astrologer or royal foreteller of the state, Vandurai, which means chief leader in Tamil. Diwan, he is the chief administrative officer of the Maharaja. Durai Seni, the wife of the high-ranking British officer, she was a very greedy woman who took over 50 diamond rings for herself. The Maharaja of the Pratibandhapuram, or the main character of the story, he is given a list of titles to emphasize on his greatness. To sum up all the titles in one, the king is called the Tiger King. The reason for him being called so shall be revealed in the lesson ahead. The Maharaja of the Pratibandhapuram, or the main character of the story, he is given a list of titles to emphasize on his greatness. To sum up all the titles in one, the king is called the Tiger King. The reason for him being called so shall be revealed in the lesson ahead. In the kingdom, the Maharaja and the ministers, they used to very well believe on what astrologers they used to predict. When the Tiger King was born, the astrologers had predicted at that time that one day the Tiger King would die. When he was just 10 days old, he asked intelligent questions to the astrologer and was told that he would be killed by a tiger. He uttered, "Let the tigers behave." No other miracle took place. The child grew like a royal baby. Listening to the 10-day-old baby, the king spoke up, and hearing this, all the listeners, they were surprised to see that how could a 10-day baby could speak. Said in its squeaky voice that all those squeaky voice means it doesn't sound like a baby who is speaking. It sounded like a big gentleman, grown-up boy who is speaking. That all those who are born have to die one day, and he did not need their predictions to know this fact. He added that if they told him the manner of his death, that would make some sense to him. So he wanted to know that predictions can be done by anyone. As to the person who has come on the earth has definitely to die one day. So he is about to find the way that in what was the reason that he can die. What could happen such in his future that he may die. The Tiger King was born in the hour of the bull, which was an enemy of the tiger. Hence, the Tiger King would die due to tiger. So the astrologers predicted that the tiger would be the reason of his death. The crown prince grew like any other normal child in a royal way, who used to drink white cow's milk. He was taught by an English tutor and looked after by an English nanny. He watched English films. When he was 20, he was crowned as king. It was then the prediction of his death by the tiger reached the Maharaja's ear. The crown prince grew taller and stronger day by day. No other miracle marked his childhood days apart from the event already described. At the age of 20, he was also been given the custody of the wards of the kingdom, which to rule over which it was been given to him. But everyone in the kingdom remembered the astrologer's prediction. Many continued to discuss the matter till the years. Slowly it came to Maharaja's ear. There were innumerable forests in Pratibandhapuram state. They had tigers in them. The Maharaja knew the old saying, "You may kill even a cow in self-defense." There could certainly be no objection to killing tigers in self-defense. The Maharaja started out on a tiger hunt. So, even in self-defense, you can kill any other animal, but he had strictly warned for the tigers. But only the Maharaja will be the person who will be the killing tigers. He was very thrilled beyond measure when he killed his first tiger. He sent for the state astrologer and showed him the dead beast. The king here, he did not stop. The king could kill 99 tigers in exactly the same way as he had killed the first one. But the king had to be very careful with the 100 tiger that he hunted. So the astrologer meant to say that here the story does not end by killing one tiger. He has to exactly kill the similarly 99 tigers, and he has to be very careful at the end. The astrologer replied that he would tear all his books of astrology and set them on fire. That means he challenged that if at all he is alive, he is being saved from all the 100 tigers, then he would tear off all the books of astrology. He would let them into fire. He continued that he shall cut off his hair and would change his profession from an astrologer to an insurance agent. The entire kingdom, as upon ordered by the Maharaja, banned the tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. Official announcement was made that if anyone was caught killing a tiger or even throwing a stone at a tiger, then his wealth and property would be taken away. The king of Pratibandhapuram took an oath that the matters would be discussed only after killing all the 100 tigers. He faced danger many times. At times, he missed bullets, a target, and the tiger jumped upon him. He got many injuries and bruises on his hand, and the entire body. The king would fight with the tigers barehanded, but each time he used to win and kill the tiger. A high-ranking British officer once visited Pratibandhapuram. He was fond of hunting tigers and he wanted to get himself photographed. So this particular British officer, he had a very different passion that he used to kill the tigers or any other wild animal, and he used to just display it in his kingdom, and he used to click the photographs along with those dead bodies hung on the wall. He wanted to hunt tigers in the Pratibandhapuram also, but the Maharaja did not give the permission to this British official. The British official only wanted to get himself photographed with the dead body of a tiger, but the king, he refused to agree with the But the king did not agree to this proposal which was being offered by the Maharaja. Therefore, denying to the British official's statement, it was a very big wrong thing that the Maharaja was aware that he is doing. So, because the British officer had been over their kingdom, so he thought that denying to the British officer, it can be a very wrong thing that he would be doing to him also and to his entire people in their kingdom. So he called upon the jeweler and he sent 50 rings, and the Maharaja sent all of them to the British officer's wife. He wanted to please her in order to make the very good to the officer's wife that he had done by refusing the official form. That means he had done a very big damage by refusing the proposal which the British officer had given to him from going on a tiger hunt in his kingdom. After 2 days, the British jewelers sent a bill of 3 lakh rupees for 50 diamond rings that they had sent. The Maharaja was happy that at least he had saved his kingdom for a sum of rupees 3 lakh rupees. The Maharaja's tiger hunt continued to be very successful, and within 10 years he was able to kill 70 tigers. An unforeseen problem stopped his mission. That means now if you are finding out for the tiger and killing almost 70 tigers, now whereupon you will be able to find more tigers. So this was the biggest problem in front of Maharaja, and he had to kill still more 30 tigers. The problem was that there were no tigers in Pratibandhapuram. One day the king called his minister and he waved his gun towards him. He said that he was yet to kill 30 more tigers. The minister was very scared looking at the aggressive behavior of the Maharaja, now thinking what to do, now where to find so many tigers. When he saw the gun, and he cried the king that he was not a tiger. So Maharaja is telling that I will shoot you if you are not getting me any more tigers. So the minister said that I am not a tiger, please do not kill me. The minister was so scared and he confused, and into this confusion he said that I don't want to I am having a marriage proposal, but I don't want to marry. So the Maharaja is telling that I am not willing to marry you. Minister is telling, I am telling that there is a marriage proposal for you from a girl which we can find. I am already married, Maharaja. And he started speaking something in a very silly way. He asked his minister to make a list of all the kingdoms and the number of tigers that they had. That means they were about to find all the kingdoms and the girl who were unmarried. Whichever kingdom is having the maximum number of the tiger of population, then the Maharaja would marry that particular girl. Next, the minister was supposed to find out if there was such a girl worth marrying in a royal family of a state which has large number of tigers. He became very anxious and curious to kill the 100th tiger. The tiger population in the father-in-law's kingdom had also finished now. From where to get so many tigers now? He could not find a single tiger anywhere. Then he was being reminded by an astrologer's words that he has to be very careful with the 100th tiger that he hunted. This made king very sad. His sadness came to an end when he got the news that in a hillside village the sheep was disappearing very fast. Now there were one or two tigers left in the forest who had hidden themselves in the cave, and they used to look out for the animal who used to come near to that cave. Means they used to never move out of the cave, but the animals used to come grazing and go near there. In this way, all the remaining other animals started disappearing. Now there was a big question that this can happen only if there is the wild animal or the tiger which is left. The Maharaja was so happy that he exempted the villages from all the taxes for 3 years and set out to hunt this particular tiger. The king could not locate the tiger very easily, but the king was extremely determined. He did not leave the forest until he would find the tiger. The minister realized that the king was very angry, and he thought that if the tiger was not found, it could lead him to destruction. Now the minister, along with his wife, pulled the tiger into his calf. Now he got the tiger from the forest, and he and his wife, they found the tiger. They led the tiger inside the car and drove the car to the forest where the Maharaja was hunting. The tiger also, in some of the sixth sense, if I tell you, he also got realized that there is something definitely going to be happened by the men or by the humans. So my minister had a very tough time pushing the tiger out of the car into the forest. Now the Maharaja, he was very happy to see the 100th tiger, and he aimed at the tiger. The tiger fell down as if it had been shot dead by the king. But the tiger, he was not killed. The bullet, it simply missed the particular tiger. Tiger, he just fainted down. He was so overjoyed, assuming that the tiger has died, that he has killed the 100 tiger. He ordered that the tiger should be brought to the capital to a grand procession and went away in his car. Apart from Maharaja, who had been to that place where the Maharaja was hunting the last tiger, the hunters took a closer look at the tiger and saw that it was still alive. They realized that the king's bullet had missed the tiger. The hunters were confused what to do, and so one of them aimed at the tiger and shot it dead. Then the hunters followed the king's order and took the dead tiger to the town in a procession. Procession means it was a kind of a ceremony where where there was a mourning which was being kept for the dead tiger. It was buried and a beautiful tomb was erected on the tiger's grave. Now the Maharaja's third birthday it arrived and it was being celebrated in a grand way. As he had fulfilled his oath of killing the 100 tigers, he gave attention to his child. As a special gift to his son on his birthday, he found a wooden tiger in a toy shop and considered it to be the perfect gift. The Maharaja's son was playing along with that particular toy tiger. The tiger had been made by a very unskillful carpenter and it had a tiny shavings of the wood pricking out of it. That means there were the slivers like a porcupine hair. If you see, if you touch it, you can prick it with blood. One of the shavings pierced the Maharaja's right hand. The Maharajas pulled it out and continued to play with the prince. So at that particular time, he was so overjoyed that he ignored the pain which he had got on his finger. The king and his son played with the wooden tiger. The tiger had made by an unskilled carpenter and it had tiny shavings of the wooden pricking out of it. One of the shavings pierced the Maharaja's right hand. The Maharaja pulled it out and continued to play with the prince. The next day, the infection spread it so fast that the Maharaja's right hand, in a period of 4 days, got an infection. The infection turned into a wound full of pus and spread all over the king's right arm. There were 3 doctors which were being called from Madras, and the Maharaja had been undertaken for an operation. After the operation, the 3 doctors they came outside and they said that the operation was successful. They meant to say that means the operation which they had carried on or the treatment it was successful, but the king he did not respond. So the king or the Maharaja he was dead. So over here the moral of the story is yes, the Tiger King have a very strong message hidden in it. This story is a satire on the willfulness of a man, that he is killing the innocent animal just to satisfy his ego. The innocent animal lives in the forest. They don't kill men, but the men, in order to satisfy his ego, go on killing these animals. The Tiger King took a vow to kill 100 tigers. Because of hunting, the animal population of animals decreases. If we rapidly do hunting, then the next generation will not be able to see animals. So hunting must be banned. Thank you.